what made me have the realization that this was such a great moment is when I'm clicking through my story and then I see us speaking, and then a few more clicks over, it's EYL speaking on that same stage.
Then a few more clicks over, it's Trina speaking.
Yeah.
Then it's 19 Keys. Then it's him 500.
It don't matter if you're qualified or not. That's just what's so cool about following God.
Exactly.
It's like he qualifies us. He said, I'm gonna put y'all in front of these people who are millionaires. Y'all speaking to them. It's easy for us to like look at our analytics and stuff. Oh, we're not getting 1 million views. What do we?
Yeah.
But it's like, even at our small level, we're still impacting people. We're touching a 1-year-old.
Remaining consistent is that's what they're gonna live by. Oh, we know Travion, we know Jada, Yanni, Zell. Like, we remember them when we were coming up, and they're gonna be far ahead of us because they're listening to it now. So it's like, that's crazy.
That's so cool how it's like people that's watching us is gonna do bigger things than us, but the fact that it's like, yeah, but I was watching y'all and like y'all really inspired me to do this. Like, that's dope. That's impact. That's like really changing the world.
There you go.
Hey y'all.
We back.
We back.
We came back from the O, straight from the A. Hey, yeah.
Hey, and we don't play.
Hey.
And we know that we
Hey.
Now we in Alcoholics Anonymous. You said we in AA.
What's that?
You said we in AA, Alcoholics Anonymous.
What's that?
When you a alcoholic.
Really?
And you have to go to AA.
Really?
Yeah.
We is not in AA. Yeah.
Hey.
And you know we don't play.
Y'all lost me after AA.
Yeah, I didn't know what that was.
Cut the cameras. All right. What are we going to talk about today?
I'm talking about Miami.
Bro, I do this hand thing every time. Let me stop.
Trey be ready to start a fire.
Right.
Yo. All right. So we was in Miami.
We was in the Yams.
Y'all should have been in
whatever.
Miami if you wasn't in Miami.
Yes, we did a whole road trip. It was split because we went to Orlando first.
Yeah.
But from Atlanta to Miami, it was a 10-hour drive.
Yeah. But it ended up being longer because the tire exploded.
Yeah. On the way back,
Yeah.
Tire exploded.
Yeah.
Sitting there trying to get the
Moving
tire
the
up.
bags in the
Trey
trunk.
do not know how to change a tire.
All right, that's what we're not going to do.
If it's
Because I
any
was
girls
definitely,
trying to talk to
I was
Trey,
definitely,
just
like,
know
Trey, do
you
this.
don't want to be with him
I
when
was
your
definitely
tire
playing
pops.
acts of service. I was like, do y'all need help anything? Got down.
Okay, acts of service.
And I was making sure nobody got hit. On top of that, I was looking on YouTube to use my resources.
Looking on YouTube.
Yeah.
Okay.
I wasn't just sitting there letting y'all do anything.
You're right.
That would be crazy.
Trey, like, don't do it.
Don't do that.
You know how to have me looking
Messing up my options. You're not about to do that.
Trey, your girl watching, you don't want to,
My future wife is watching.
Future wife,
Period.
Yeah. You're not
Respect.
aiming for girl. You're aiming for wife.
okay. Respect.
There you go.
But yeah, Miami was cool. It was super dope. We got to speak.
Yes.
That was really cool. We found
In front of
out
how many people?
Like 1,000 people.
In front of
Ooh.
1,000 people.
And it was so cool talking about it on the way home.
It was.
Because what made me have the realization that this was such a great moment is when I'm clicking through my story and then I see us speaking, and then a few more clicks over, it's EYL speaking on that same stage.
And a few more clicks over, it's Trina speaking.
Yeah, exactly.
And then it's 19 Keys.
Exactly.
Then it's him 500.
Exactly.
Then it's David Shans.
Exactly.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so that was just super cool. The fact that this only being our third speaking engagement, and we spoke in front of almost 1,000 people. Our first speaking engagement was also random.
It was.
We spoke at Neo and David Shan's event, which is pretty big
What was it called
as
again?
well. The
Tomorrow's
Millionaires.
Yeah.
Like, that's pretty big as well to say we got to speak there. The second time we spoke was at our own packed out event.
Yep.
Like, that's amazing to be able to say. And we had Donnie Wiggins speaking at our event.
Ooh.
We had all these super dope people, Princess Dior, all these super dope people also at our event. And then our third time speaking, being in front of a crowd of almost 1,000 people, sharing the stage with all those people we just named, Angela Yee.
And you know what's crazy?
Like,
it's like there's people that's more like establishing us, listening to us in a crowd.
Yeah,
I'm saying, because I saw somebody in the front. I'm like, bro, you feel me? Like, I saw some of the people that's already established. I'm like, dang, they're watching us on stage right now.
And it's like when God, like, it don't matter if you're qualified or not. That's just what's so cool about following God. It's like he qualifies us. He said, I'm gonna put y'all in front of these people who are millionaires. Y'all speaking to them. I ain't even touched a million yet, and I'm speaking to people who are millionaires.
Exactly.
That's crazy.
It reminds me of, I just was reading the story about how Moses had to be the one to, or I hope I'm not mixing up names. Okay, I believe Moses had to be the one to talk to the king, him and his brother or something, or him and somebody else to talk to the king about letting the Egyptians free. Yeah. And I remember at first Moses telling God that I'm scared, or he was not feeling confident to speak, but it was just like, and you know what the crazy thing I thought about that story was, God told him, you're gonna speak and he's not gonna listen. Like, he told him ahead of time, like, you're gonna speak, I'm giving you the power, the strength to go and speak, but this king is not going to listen to you. He's still going to be stubborn. And so I even thought that was cool, that sometimes God will put us in situations where he wants us to do it. He wants us to do something knowing that the person may not listen to us, or the situation may not work out, but it's still for a greater reason. Because at the end, the king ended up freeing all the Israelites and stuff like that. But like, just, we could have easily been that same way as far as like being scared, you know, like we were given this opportunity and we could have been scared and be like, oh, I don't know if I want to do it. But at the end of that speech, we had people coming up to us talking about they were so inspired. People older than us, you know, saying they're so inspired.
I had somebody even said like they had tears coming to their eyes.
Yeah, I know a few people. I'm starting to remember names now. You feel me? Tracy West.
Yeah,
all them people. Focus. It's a few people. I forget everybody's name, but. Yeah, it was a few people. I like what you said about the one person with the child. You said that their child like has been watching us. Yeah,
their her 1-year-old child says Painz. And it's like, bruh, it's easy for us to like look at our analytics and stuff. Oh, we're not getting 1 million views. What do we? Yeah. But it's like, even at our small level, we're still impacting people. We're touching a 1-year-old.
Our growing level.
Like, our growing level.
Yeah, exactly. Our growing level. Because small, it's not small. Like, this is impact. Those same kids remaining consistent is going to, that's what they're going to live by. Oh, we know Travion. We know Jada, Yanni, Zell. Like, we remember them when we were coming up. And they're going to be far ahead of us because they're listening to it now. So it's like, that's crazy.
That's so cool how it's like people that's watching us is going to do bigger things than us. But the fact that it's like, yeah, but I was watching y'all and like y'all really inspired me to do this. Like, that's dope. That's impact. Sure. That's like really changing the world.
Exactly.
So cool.
It's like a cycle, because in a way, like David and Donnie, that's what they are for us.
Yeah.
We saw them, we got to see their journey through Social Proof Podcast, and now we're soaking up all this knowledge and information that they have so we can start doing things sooner than they did. But now there's going to be an even younger generation that watch us, and it's just like a cycle that continues. Then eventually you're going to have 1-year-old, 2-year-old millionaires.
No, be serious. There's going to be 1 to 2-year-old millionaires. I watch Growing Pains. You feel me? I think it's really, really dope, and just being in that space, you know, everybody remembering us and being like, we can see what y'all doing. Like, y'all stand out in y'all own individual ways. That was a good feeling.
We've been getting a couple of things or comments like that, as far as people commented on our presence. So even when we went to the dinner yesterday, and the lady said that we look like what we say we do. Like, that still has to do with our presence.
That's a top tier compliment.
Exactly. Like, oh, you look like what you say you are.
Right.
And a lot of people don't look like what they say they are. And so it's like getting those type of compliments about our presence is super dope. And the other lady said, there's something about y'all's presence. People want to know who y'all are. Yeah. that
like,
is
who are they?
like definitely a top tier compliment, because it's just like wow,
because that's how you know we're doing what God called us to do. It's a part of who we are.
For sure.
It shows when we walk in a room, like
Yeah.
what she like it exudes, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's the anointing.
it's
really.
your spirit. Exactly.
It's the anointing. Like what we do is not just in the world, but it's something that God placed inside of us. It's something spiritual that God put inside of us, anointed us for this certain thing, and it just glows.
And I want to say, none of this is to say that we are
Above
more
anyone.
Yes, more anointed or more special than anybody else.
Yeah.
But it's more so, I feel like that anointing comes from you walking in what you're supposed to be doing.
For sure.
Exactly. And so that same glow that I guess we have around our spirit, or that makes people say these things, you can have that same thing as well. If you're doing what God has called you to do, you will have that same exact thing. And
For
so
sure.
I think right now we're just kind of soaking in the moment of like, realizing we're in alignment with what we're doing, and soaking in the moment of realizing that we are doing what we're supposed to be doing, you know.
Yeah,
like it's
for
like a
sure.
in awe type of moment, like wow, this is really happening, we're really doing this, like people are really saying this, you know.
Yeah, and I really like that because
Hey y'all, what's up? I know you're enjoying the episode, but real quick, we wanted to take a second to talk to y'all.
hey, pull out your phones right now and text the word GP Crew to the number down below. Let's get it.
Go do that right now. You're gonna get updates about new drops, events, and so much more.
And don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Now let me get back behind the camera. Let's get it.
One thing I always say is that I feel as though all of us are all humble with, you know, the feedback that we get, the appreciation, the love that we get, the support, and all of that. It's not a thing of like you said, like we're not above anybody. I truly feel as though everybody is special in their own right. You feel me? I feel as though everybody has
100%.
that star factor or that glow that when you start to walk in your alignment and walk in your truth of who you are and get closer and closer to that truth and that path, you're gonna start to have that spark. Even when me and you, we went to a event recently, and there was one guy, he had like security, all that stuff, and you know, you were like, you had said something like, he's no different from me, and that's when in my mind I'm like, dang, you're right. Like this person is no different from what I can attain. It's just that this is their time right now, and my time is gonna come, but it doesn't take away from me what they have going on for themselves. So like, I feel as though everybody has that star factor, but you have to own it. You have to live in it. You have to walk in it. And it may take a little time to really figure out like, all right, what am I going to do? And once you find it, everything is going to start to work. Like literally just last year when I was at Black Equity Con, I did not have no backstage pass or none of that. Then this year I'm like, dang, like just a year ago, I was barely able to get in.
Bro, exactly, bro. Just a year ago, I was trying to figure out how I was gonna come to Atlanta. I came out here on faith.
Yeah.
Same.
Literally, I had just stopped doing DoorDash, and I really wanted to go to Invest Fest. I had just started working with Dave, and I came out here on faith.
Yeah.
Man, just a year ago, I was sneaking into Davis.
Same.
I snuck into VIP at Davis event last year.
That's crazy how fast you can grow, though.
Yeah.
Like, already in a year on
for
a
sure.
stage.
Crazy.
On his network, like on Davis network.
On a network.
On his network,
stage.
on stage, in front of his audience that he's built and that he's allowed to share with us. Like he's allowed that, like, I want y'all on my platform and I want to share what I've built with y'all. You feel me? That's really a blessing.
And I like what you were saying about like how everybody has something special. I truly believe that. Like, there's really no such thing. I was just telling my friend this, like, that's my sister. I was telling her there's really no such thing as celebrity. You know, we all have, bro, even when I see people on the street, like homeless people, I be like, I bet you they're more special than I am.
Yes.
The enemy is just attacking them more because of what they're carrying inside of us. When I see kids doing stuff, I just be thinking, you don't know what's inside of you. And that's why I do what I do, because I'm like, imagine if every young adult knew why they were here. That's what really got me cleaning up my path. First, of course, finding God, but realizing I was meant for more.
Same.
Realizing I was meant for more. made me not want to go out and party because I knew it would take away from what I was born to do.
For sure.
Knowing what I was here for made me want to stop smoking because I knew that would kill the purpose that God placed inside of me. And so it's just like, imagine if everybody knew what they were here to do. Everybody would be walking inside of a room glowing.
Exactly.
Crazy. That even makes me think like, rather than because now that's giving me a different perspective of star. Some people think star means you have to be in the forefront. You have to be the person and you have to be the face of something. You have to be like in the very front. Your star power may just be, you feel me, like playing a role to impact something. I'm saying that's his star. You feel me?
But this would not be going on right now if Zell was not here. They don't see Zell as much.
Episodes would not be dropping.
Just as important, if not more important than us. We don't upload the videos. He uploads the videos.
He edits the videos.
He uploads.
Film it.
He does everything. Y'all,
okay, y'all just got me turned.
Y'all just gave me such a good revelation, or like y'all reminded me of something. So there was something I was reading in the Bible recently. I cannot remember the names, but it was basically, remember there was a guy. I want to say, I don't think it was David. It wasn't David. There was a brother who was sold by his brothers to into slavery or something, and then he ended up Joseph. There we go. He ends up becoming not a king or anything, but like a very high position in government and all of that good stuff. He's in charge of a lot of things, and his brothers end up coming back to him, not even realizing that he's still alive and has worked his way to this high position, and now they need something from him. But y'all just made me think about how one revelation I got from that story was God elevated Joseph wherever he was at. When Joseph was in jail, he was elevated to be ahead of all the prisoners. When Joseph was a slave, he was elevated to he ended up being elevated to becoming the assistant. Like, you can. And then even when he ended up working under the king, he was elevated. So it just shows me that it doesn't matter where you are at. It doesn't matter if you are the janitor, or if you are a teacher, or if you're a basketball player, or whatever the case may be. Whatever level you're at in life, God can elevate you, put you at the highest position, no matter where you are at. The highest position doesn't mean, oh, well, I'm a janitor, so I'm at the lowest. You know,
that's literally. I just want to say this real quick.
No, go ahead.
That's literally a Bible verse that says, the last will be first and the first will be last.
Yes.
It may seem like you're last right now because everybody overlooks you, but that's only for a season, because soon you're going to be in front.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that even makes me think of my journey of, bro, before last year, I was editing like crazy for everyone. And then I started to feel uneasy when people are like seeing what I'm doing with the podcast, and they're like, you know, they respect it. You know, I still work with them and stuff, but it's not to a point where like they're like forcing my hand, or like, oh, we need you for this, we need you for that every single moment. They're like, nah, build this team out so that, you know, you can get those people. And even that's why you show respect to everybody the same way. The janitor, the person who, you know, cleans the place, the person who manages the lights and all of that stuff. You show respect to every single person, because you never know when their time is coming and when they may be elevated to a different position, a different level in their life, where it's like, you may be playing a front row now, but then you could be sent to the back and they playing a front row now.
Soon the student is going to be greater than the teacher.
Exactly.
Crazy. And some people don't like that. Some people don't like when the student is, you know, elevating above you. Some people want to keep you to that level, but it's like everybody is going to grow in their own way. Everybody has that season where it's like, this is their time, and you got to love that. You got to love that for them, and not be a hater. You never know what you may be able to contribute to that. And rather than, you know, hating on it, see what ways can you fit in and provide that acts of service. You feel me? Like, support it, like show love to it. So yeah, that's crazy. That really just, it's people out here that really believe. Ooh, that's reminding me when we went to IHOP and the kids were stealing when they were running across the highway, and you were talking about like they don't even know what they got inside them. Like they don't know what it is that they may be the next millionaire next year, and they were just stealing just now, and it's like,
ooh. I just remember something. So something Miles Monroe said in a video. He says, where purpose is not known, abuse is inevitable.
Yes, I've heard that before.
And I was watching it was not, I don't know if it was Miles Monroe. I forgot who I was watching, but I think it was Myron Golden. I think he was saying how he was cleaning his car with a towel, and his daughter came outside.
Yeah.
He said, "What are you doing?" He was like, "Oh, I'm cleaning a car," and his daughter was like, "That's not what that's for," you know. And it's like sometimes when we don't know what's inside of us, we'll just do anything.
Yeah.
But something I was telling my wise community is that just like how there's certain things you do and are not supposed to do for a seed, right? You're not supposed to water a plant with soda.
Yeah.
That's abuse, right? That would kill the seed. It's the same thing for us. It's certain things that we will do that will kill the seed that's inside of us.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's why it's so important to like walk in your purpose, walk in what God called you to do, because then it helps you live like a purposeful life.
For sure.
Definitely.
You wanted to say something?
Oh, you could go.
I was gonna say that even makes people, you can, over time, if you're in your purpose and you're leading your purpose, it comes to a point where people start asking like, what is that? Like, what is that inside of you? Like this glow that you have, or this impact that you're making, what is that inside of you? And so it's kind of like when you be obedient like to God and his path for you and not what you want, then you can really begin to like reap the fruits of, you know, God's kingdom and all of that stuff. Because it's like a non-believer may not understand what God is doing for you, but the more you stay confident and like committed to that goal or that or have that obedience to God, then like now you're making that non-believer see what God is doing for you, because you're living in what he's telling you to do. You feel me? And I've learned that is like sometimes you don't even have to explain and keep telling them, oh, this is what God is telling me to do. This is what God is telling me to do. They see it from the fruit of your life. And once they see it, it's like, how did you get that? Oh, I was being obedient to God. You feel me? And that's what I'm working on. Like my relationship with God is not amazing. Like I don't pray every day. I don't, you know, like I don't always pay attention. I just was talking to Jada when we were on the way to Miami.
I was just about to say that's where I actually want to take the conversation, because I want but you can finish.
Go ahead.
So yeah, me and Trey had a conversation in the car about our relationship with God. And one of the things that the revelations that I got from this trip was, I don't want to be, or let me not start there. I'll say I realized that I don't only want to say the word success, but I'll say that now, but it's more than that. I feel like success will come either being all the way on one side or all the way like on the fried side. So being all the way for God or all the way for the world. But there's not much, only so much can happen being in that gray area, for real. Even if you may say, oh, I live for God, but your life still shows that you're all the way for the world. I feel like even then you're still not in the middle, because your life shows that you're living all the way for the world. And so I feel like I've been in the middle for multiple reasons. Some things that I do isn't necessarily because I want to do them, but it's more so I'm more afraid of man than I am of God. So I'll do things that I really don't want to do, but I'll do it because of other people, which ends up causing me to live a way that God doesn't want me to live. And so basically, we were talking in the car about like how we want to be closer to God. And I was like, because of you, because of Alex, and just even a few other examples, I have been able to see the beauty of what life is like when you're truly living your life all the way for God. It's so much joy in that, and the crazy thing is I've experienced joy with God, but you know how you can just hold on to these last few things that you feel like you may need or whatever. And so that was like a really big revelation. It's just realizing that I don't need all of that stuff. And so I felt God telling me, just give me the next 30 to 45 days and I'll show you. Like you don't need whatever you may think you need. That's on that other side. You don't have to be in this gray area. You don't have to be in the middle. Like you could be all the way for me and you'll be good. So
For sure. And even what you said of like, you know, listening to men rather than God, it's like I've been learning like, who is your idol? Who is like, if your job or your career can demand for you to be here, do this, be on time, but when God tells you to do this one thing, to commit to this one thing for the next 30 days, or commit to his word, or, you know, read a chapter a day, whatever it is. If you're able to show up in the world for your career or for whatever it may be, that's your idol. And you're paying attention to that rather than paying attention to what God is saying. And so it's like, I'm learning that my faith like has to be stronger. I even asked Jada like questions about faith of like, we talked about like, okay, I asked a genuine question of like, how is God showing up for this person, and this person, and he's showing up for me? And you were just saying something along the lines of like,
like God is everywhere, all the time. And so he's able to do things for all of his children all at once because God is everywhere.
Right.
And even at the beginning of Genesis, it talks about how, I believe it says something along the lines of how his spirit like covered the earth. Yeah, something like that.
Hey, what's up, y'all? My name is Runzel Teague. I'm the proud producer, host, and engineer of the Growing Painz podcast. Right now, I want to tell you about our sponsorship ad packages. The reason that we decided to do these packages is because we want to support you. Right? Do you have a business, a hoodie, a jacket, a wig, whatever you want to do, you want to put your business or service on our platform, we're allowing you to do that. All you got to do is hit the link below and send us an email, and we'll get right back to you, all right? And let me get back behind the camera to producing this show. Let's get it.
Yeah, and even to think of what you said of like, your earthly father can disappoint you, and like your, you know, that whole realm of things. And also like spiritual maturity.
Yeah, we were talking about so much stuff. Yes.
But yeah, we were talking about like how spiritual maturity, all of that stuff. And so it's like, you know, just really getting into the flow of like your life. If you really want to see growth in your life, you're gonna have to let go of some things. And a lot of things that I deal with is like paying attention to what everybody else thinking, paying attention to people, of what I was saying in the car, of just like you're paying attention to people that's probably not even paying attention to you. They may be watching your story, but they probably skipping right through it. So you're worried about that one view, that one person's opinion, and like that has nothing to do with the path that you're supposed to be led by and going towards. You feel me?
Yes. And I was telling y'all the other day, I was really just thanking God because I was like, I'm grateful that God has given me a community where I feel like I can live fully for him, and I feel like there are going to be things that are pulling me back towards the opposite direction.
Yeah.
I have a community of people who I feel like truly support that, you know?
Yeah.
And sometimes when you are a seed planted in an environment where it puts you in a place where you can't grow how you want to, those are like the worst environments to be in, because you may not know how to uproot yourself and replant yourself somewhere else. And so I was just super grateful that I do have y'all and people like JD and just other people now in my life that I feel like, okay, I can be, I can grow closer with God, and I feel like I have an environment that's going to pull me away from that.
For sure. And it's even things as such as community is so important the people that you surround yourself by. Because even in the beginning, prior to the podcast summit starting, I didn't want to go. I just because of that whole thing of like the hot seat and all of that. And then I told you about it, and you were like, so you're gonna backtrack to where you used to be just to not like what will you gain from not showing up? What will you gain from not showing up and owning up to what you said or what occurred on that episode? And so when we went to the thing, it was like people were understanding and giving grace, and it was like, it wasn't even everything that I was making myself believe. None of that stuff happened while we were there. You feel me?
That's the thing about the mind. Like, it'll try to blow things out of proportion that aren't even that serious.
For sure. Yeah, your mind is definitely gonna blow things out of proportion. You may be thinking the worst of the worst, and then 9 times out of 10, if you have that community, that environment that pushes you to get uncomfortable, to know you're gonna be okay, like you're gonna be fine, you end up going or taking action on what you were so scared of or what you were thinking of, and the whole time it was fine. It was everything that you couldn't have imagined. You feel me?
And to the point of community, not necessarily the part of being scared. But like, even if we look in the Bible, Jesus had a community. He had 12. He walked with 12 disciples. He's God. He didn't.
Even when you think about the Holy Trinity, that is not, it's not just one God.
Even us, we're not just one. We're this flesh, spirit, and soul.
Yes.
So things, the Bible literally says, it's not good for man to be alone. God made Adam. God didn't just make Adam; He made Eve too.
Exactly.
Yeah. Ooh, he did.
I was just talking to you, I think yesterday, about how, and we talked about this in book club, as far as how I'm like working on setting boundaries and things like that now. And that even having community in that aspect, it helps me keep my boundaries. When we were having a conversation in Orlando about my car and stuff, letting our friend use my car to go get food. And I was just like, I really don't want to.
Yeah, and we were like, so don't let him. You feel me?
And so it's just like having that community to say, don't do it. Like, you don't have to. Or just say no, you know. It helped me.
He's in our community.
Exactly.
You feel me? So it's like we still gotta have boundaries amongst each other. If we don't want to do something, we don't want to do it. Even little small example, when I wanted to do the thumbnail picture, he was like, I don't want to do it.
What thumbnail picture?
The thumbnail picture when the fire alarm went off and stuff.
Oh yeah.
We're at the hotel running down 11 flights of stairs.
Oh my gosh, we gotta talk about that.
Yo, well, have your attention, please. Like, come on, bruh.
Bro. In the shower, I'm in the shower.
Yes.
So where did we come from?
We just came from the beach. We was outside.
Yeah.
After the
and you and me, we took a nap on the couch.
Oh yeah, we were sleeping good on that couch.
Yes.
Yeah, so y'all were knocked out. Goni knocked out.
Right.
Outside.
So I was the one that caught it first. Did you hear it in the shower? Because I think you were shot.
I heard it, but I thought y'all were playing a prank on me.
Okay. Yeah, so me and Jada were asleep.
Thinking about
me and Jada were asleep on the couch. Yeah, and I woke up and I was like, Jada. And Jada said, I said, Jada, no, for real.
And it took me a while to realize.
Yeah,
and then at one point, I was like, oh, Lord. And then I think I wanted to start praying. I was just thinking, God, please don't let this be real.
Fire.
Yeah.
And then it hit me because then I started really listening.
Yeah.
And it didn't stop. The alarm kept going off saying
then I could tell because you like jumped up.
Then Jada knocking on the door and talking about Trey. Come on. I said, I'm put my clothes on.
Trey, I'm gonna get going.
I'm trying to put my clothes on.
And then this is what made me scared. This is actually what made me jump up when I heard people in the hallway
yelling.
Yeah.
Yes, and
a crowd of people.
Yes, and so then I'm like, oh shoot, this is for real. It's a fire.
Right. So Jada gets Trey, I get Goni. I try to go upstairs. I'm like,
bro, that's what my priorities had to really test me, bro.
Okay. Wait, we gotta tell them. So the alarm's going off, man. Have your attention, please, man. Have your attention, please.
Like there's a fire.
Right. And we walk outside the door. Next thing you know,
I'm like, hold on.
Bro, we're all contemplating. Like, I'm like, should I go back for my jeans?
Y'all need the last one running out, and I go back in, and then I grab my camera and my laptop, and I'm like, should I bring it? Should I not?
Yeah.
And I'm like, all right, put it down. And just run out.
And when you're in there, I'm like, since I might as well go get my computer.
Like, bro, we're on the 11th floor. You're still in there.
Exactly. We gotta run down these stairs. We all contemplated, should I go back for something related to my business?
I just wanted my SIM card and my laptop.
Like, for real. Exactly. I did not care about my clothes.
I didn't care about the clothes, the sneakers.
I didn't care. I just wanted my pants. Cause like those are the only pair I got.
I literally just wanted my laptop and my camera. That's it.
Exactly.
You can have
everything. Take everything else.
Even when we were going, so we're running down the stairs.
There was some girls in front of us. They're covering their nose.
I'm like,
should I do it? I'm like, bro,
exactly.
I'm covering my nose.
I'm getting scared. When they started covering their nose, I'm thinking, oh no, the smoke is about to hit us. I'm thinking, oh my God, we only like on floor 7 now. I'm getting so
I'm like, I don't smell nothing.
Yeah.
Let me put my shirt
Bro,
on.
it literally started flashing through my head like, oh my gosh, I'm waiting for like a fire to bust through one of the doors.
Right.
Like I was getting so scared. Oh, and then remember we got to the floor that the car was on, and I was like,
we were contemplating about that. Should we get the car? Should we not? Y'all need about to go out and get the car. We're like, I'm like, come on.
I go get home.
Then we get to the last floor. And Jada's looking at the top of the building to see the fire.
I'm looking. I didn't see that. I'm looking all of the building.
Yo, she's looking at the very top of the building.
So then we walk in the lobby. And we see somebody leaning over the counter.
And we like, where everybody
at? Nobody in the lobby.
We're like, did we get pranked?
Right.
Bro, that was crazy.
I was so mad. Turns out to be, it was just a false alarm.
No, for real.
The thoughts that was going through my head, I was like, should I pray?
Yes.
And then when I left my laptop and my camera, I'm like, dang, I just did all them vlogs. I'm not gonna have nothing to post. I gotta re-record.
And y'all, keep in mind, this is like 4 a.m.
That's what I'm saying.
4 a.m. after a long day at the beach, podcast, something. We done did everything, and alarms going off.
That was crazy.
Still had our day clothes on. Me and Jada.
Yo, I was in the shower, and I was like, should I keep washing up? Because I thought it was a prank, and I'm like, maybe I should take this serious. And then Jada knocking on the door. Then when you open the door in my room,
I'm like, oops, God, like I don't want to see him naked.
Yo, good thing I wasn't in there, bro. That would have been wild.
That was so funny. But that was a good trip though.
That was a good trip.
If y'all want to see this happening, me and Trey. Well, I vlogged it. Did you record it? I was recording.
Don't do me. I vlogged.
Okay, yeah.
Got a whole thumbnail for it.
Oh yeah, you do. We vlogged it, so you can check out our channels. Mine is Yanni Bradshaw. Yours is
Royal Trevion.
Yeah. So if y'all want to see that,
got it on the shirt. You feel me? Royal Team made this shirt. Let's get it. But we definitely got some vlogs. We got a bunch of content for real. We should post on our vlog channel. Jada got to start vlogging.
I know.
You gotta start vlogging, bro.
I did record some videos, so
she said I got the first day.
Exactly. I definitely got the first day, so progress. Period.
But so yeah, y'all can watch it on our channel to see exactly what happened, the whole trip, everything, because that junk was lit.
Oh, and we went to a concert, Alex Jean's
concert.
Saturday.
Yes,
that was crazy. Living in your purpose.
Yes.
All them people there.
Yes.
Bro.
Ooh, and then what happened? When he was practicing, we all saw him on a stage with a big band and all of this stuff. It's because you could tell he's aligned. You could just see it in the future.
You could see he's already thinking as if he's already there.
Exactly.
He's thinking 10 years ahead. He's already thinking from the point of view of I'm in stadiums. The ideas that he was coming up with for that show, I was like, oh yeah, he's not living in right now.
Yeah.
He's living in the future for sure. And that's how you got to be, especially when you're walking in your purpose. You can't be operating from right now. You can't be operating from the present. You have to be operating from the future.
For sure.
Okay,
that's something I've been thinking about recently too.
Yeah, once we got off stage, that was something that I definitely thought about, is because if you operate in the present and not the future, then you're gonna continue to like be stagnant. And when these hits come, like prime example, the one conversation we had, if you had that Beyonce effect. If Beyonce buys like your brand or something from your brand and start promoting it, are you ready? You feel me, for that? And not to like put her on this status because she's a human, but it's just an example of like somebody with influence and impact. And so it's like, you really have to prepare. Like we have to prepare for our businesses to grow. So when we're on stage in front of 10,000 people, 5,000 people and more, like we have to be ready. We can't you can't have your website down. You can't have your website down. Like you gotta have the pins ready. You gotta have your inventory. VA. I gotta have the VA because I can't be doing a graphic on the stage.
Yes. No, what's crazy is I have literally been thinking about this recently.
Yeah.
Like that's actually crazy. I've been thinking like I need to start making decisions. Like this is so crazy. Like I don't know. I'm just really mind blown right now because this is something I've really been thinking about.
For sure.
But I've just been thinking I need to start making decisions today based on who I want to be 10 years from now. Yes. Every decision I make, if this was to be 10 times, would I like this decision?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? If I know I said I'm only going to eat fast food 3 times this week and I'm breaking the rule, okay, you doing that 10 times, how are you going to be?
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
For sure.
And so just thinking like my future self, something Jim Rohn said that's so prolific. He said, 6 years from now, you're going to be somewhere, but where are you going to be?
Yeah.
Or where are you going to, he said something like that, like, where are you going to arrive? Oh, he said, you're going to arrive 6 years from now, but the question is where, or something like that. And that's so true. Like, all the decisions we make today, are we creating or are we evolving or, what's the word? Evolving or repeating.
Yeah.
Every day we're either becoming better or staying the same. And we don't
and
even
really,
stay the same. You really go backwards.
Exactly.
For sure.
Nothing really stays the same. The world
is
is
either
always
growing or
going
dying.
Exactly.
For sure. And that's the thing. When we get so caught up, or anybody, when you get so caught up in, oh, should I make this decision or should I make this decision? The quicker you move, you're going to get to the point where you know, okay, if I made this mistake, let's not do it again. Let's go to the next direction. So every decision that you make is a decision. You feel me? Because if you choose not to act on something, then you're not going to get the result. Yeah, it's still a decision. It's still something that you decided to do. You decided not to take action. So you decided to not get a result at the end of the decision that you made, the choices that you made. You feel me?
Something I saw recently is from a book. I don't remember what book, but it said that every day, every decision you're making a vote towards who you want to be. So every decision is a vote. You said you're going to work out today. Are you going to work out?
Yeah.
If you do, you're voting towards being healthy. If not, you're voting being the same or going backwards. Every decision is a vote. And I feel like when we start, and also I was looking at, I'm everywhere, bro. I was looking at this old video of me, and in the video I was saying how you have to create every day. Like, you have to create life. Like, don't just live it and just let things happen to you and just going with the flow. Okay, you woke up today. What can you do today that you can create and build so that tomorrow you'll be an inch closer to what you see in your mind, what God put inside of you? Don't just go with the flow. What can you, you want a big business. Why are you sitting around all day? Create it. You have to plan your content out. Work on your website. You have to create. It takes time, you know? And something else I'm thinking about is how we're created by a creator. And so if we're the child of a creator, that means we're a little creator of our little world, you know? Not saying like, you know, God. Yeah, exactly. You know, God still has major power over us because we have no control over what tomorrow's going to be. But doing what we can, what he gave us the freedom to do. You know what I'm saying? If you have the freedom to invest in your business, do it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
No, definitely.
I was gonna say something. I was like, let me
No, you can go. It's okay.
Nah. Why did we both look at her? We're like, all right, to you.
Yeah, because I feel like she has something to say.
Well, I was gonna say something about how you talked about did you say like creating your days?
Yeah, create.
Yes. Okay, so it even made me think about how the other day when we got back, I was like, okay, I need to make $1,000 today. And it was so crazy because God had been telling me to do something, and I was being so lazy to do it. I think I told y'all I wanted to pre-record my classes for my students for the month. And so the first class that I did, I was procrastinating just doing the videos. So the first day we got back, or the second day, whatever it was, I didn't do it. The next day, I was like, okay, let me go ahead and do this. I posted a video of what I made for that class. It made $1,000 off of that. And it was just crazy because God had been telling me, you need to do this. Right. But it's like I wasn't even thinking like, God already knew my needs, right? Like God knew that would bring me more money. So he's telling me you need to do this. But I'm like procrastinating, I'm being lazy. But it's even funny how I could have chose to look at it from the perspective of, oh, I woke up that day and said I wanted to make $1,000 and I made $1,000. But it's like, no, something God told me to do, he already planned that this was going to be a way for me to make money. But from my obedience, by actually doing the thing that he said to do, that ended up providing like what I needed. And so,
for sure. And that's why you got to set an intention for real. What are you doing? You feel me? You can't just walk around life just, oh, I'm not going to do sometimes you got to do what you really don't want to do in order to really make something shake for real. Like you may not want to go to the gym. You may not want to fulfill these orders.
It sounds, though.
It is harder than it sounds. But it's like when you consciously, because a lot of times I don't be feeling like going to the gym. I be like, bruh, I don't got it in me. But when I go, then I get that result that I want. I feel good. My mentality is on track. You feel me? And so it's like when you're not progressing, you start to get in this place of feeling stagnant. And then that, sprinkles down into feeling depressed or a sense of sadness. And you may be wondering, why am I feeling this way? It's because you don't you're not moving, you're not progressing into anything new. You're living the same life. I've had so many days where it feels as though I'm living the same exact day over and over and over again.
Yeah,
I'm waking up, I'm doing orders, I'm feeling sad and mopey like about how my day is going. And it's because I'm not intentionally trying to seek something new. I'm not intentionally trying to seek progress. I'm not intentionally trying to move the needle forward, as you mentioned, of just making sure, okay, what can I do differently that will help me get closer to the goal that I would like to do? If I need a VA, what can I do? What can I do to get there? Who do I need to get connected to? Do I need a coach? Do I need a mentor? And that's what I'm doing now, is getting a mentor, getting the things in place that I need in order to really take stuff to the next level. Because when you don't take stuff to the next level, you're going to remain there, and then you're going to get older, and you're going to get older, and the time is only going to pass. It's so easy to get comfortable, and it's so easy for time to just fly past, and you're looking and you're like, I was just 21, I was just 19, I was just 18. And now you're like, now I'm 40. And nobody has the same care for the drive that you had, or the work ethic you had, or the motivation you had, any of the goals that you had. Nobody has the same care to contribute to your vision, because you wasted all this time, and now you're in a place where you should have been did it. You feel me? And that's why I appreciate like our environment and our community, because we're always staying on top of each other. And it's not a matter of, you know, a toxic staying on top of each other. It's like, okay, why aren't you doing this? Yeah, it's real productive. Or what's stopping you from doing this? Are you sad? Like, what's going on? You feel me? And we're constantly pushing ourselves to hold ourselves accountable and hold each other accountable to move forward.
Yeah, that's good.
It's something you said, you were talking about like being comfortable and like doing hard things. And that's something I'm trying to that's something I am training my mind to do, is doing more hard things. Because I feel like a good life is filled with like hard decisions. You know, it's hard to work out, it's hard to stick to your diet, it's hard to work hard. But all of those things lead to a good life. You know what I'm saying? And so sometimes I tend to push the hard things back, all the way back. I'm talking all the way. But I'm realizing that that's not making anything better. You're gonna have to. It's just sitting there, you know.
It's gonna pile up.
Yeah, exactly. You're gonna have to do it one day, and so realizing I need to start doing more hard things. I feel like once I get in the mindset of that, I feel like I'm gonna be good.
Gonna be a beast. Yeah, for sure. That was really good. That's the last thing I'll say about that, of just those hard decisions, is like sometimes I get overwhelmed of like, dang, I don't know what decision to make. But it don't even be the fact of like, you don't know what decision to make. You know what decision to make, but sometimes you could be uncomfortable doing it, raising your prices, or something as simple as like telling a client and being assertive in what you say. You know, that those can be the little things that will move the needle. Setting boundaries, all of that stuff, saying no without an explanation. Sometimes you don't always have to give a reason as to why you're saying no. This is a boundary for me to help you and help myself as well to stay sane. You feel me? So like you definitely have to make the hard decisions for sure.
And I feel like when you make hard decisions, it makes you more confident for some reason. Like when you really don't feel like working out, and I don't know why I'm keep using working out as an example. It's just
it's like, let's go to the gym.
Right. But I feel like when you really don't feel like working out and you do it, those be the best workout. You know? So it's like the hard things make you feel more better. And also it's like once you do, it's like that wasn't even that hard. It
wasn't. It's that mental barrier. What doesn't kill you make you stronger.
Exactly.
And we out. We out with it.
Y'all.
Zoe, you got some last words?
Nah, man. That was a good episode, man. Yeah, that's it.
Let's go. We appreciate y'all. Make sure to listen on the audio, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, all that good stuff. You can follow us on Growing Painz Pod. And we're going to see y'all. We appreciate it. Let's get it.
Bye, guys.
All right, y'all. Like, comment, subscribe. Let's get it.